A man was curious to try on a customer's high heels, but the next moment he discovers a secret. When she put on the shoes, he was a different person in the mirror. The man was puzzled and thought he had gained supernatural powers. He tried on another pair of shoes to confirm his suspicions. The next moment he was a man. When he calmed down, he felt his cheeks and realized it was real, but the man still couldn't believe it. Then he got another pair of Oxfords, but this time there was no change. He thought they weren't tight enough, so he stomped on them. His appearance remained the same. He suddenly remembered that the first two pairs of shoes had been repaired by a sewing machine, so he rushed downstairs. This old sewing machine was handed down from his ancestors. He didn't think twice about repairing the shoes. When he tried again, he was transformed into an old man. It turned out that the ability to change his appearance came from the magic sewing machine. He looked at all the shoes in the room and had a bold idea. He puts on a pair of high-quality leather shoes and becomes a rich man. With another pair of shoes, he became a bad guy. With this ability, he would even compare his foot size with others on the underground to see if they're the same size as his own. But just being someone else is not enough for a man. He wants to experience the other person's life. For example, he becomes a rich man and goes to a fancy restaurant. When it's time to pay the bill, he pretends to go to the washroom and changes back to his original form. The staff wondered where the man had gone. When he saw a rich man driving a luxury car on the roadside, he couldn't help but envy him if he had one. But soon, the rich man was robbed. He asked for his shoe size. When he heard that it was a 10.5-inch man who threatened to hand over his shoes, the tycoon was puzzled that someone would rob him only of his shoes. In order not to get into trouble, he handed over the shoes. In this way, the man successfully drove a luxury car by transforming himself. On this day, his goddess came to the shop to help her boyfriend repair his shoes. The man had an idea. At night, he came to her house as her boyfriend. As he was excitedly undressing, he saw the shoes on his feet and stopped immediately. If he took off his shoes, he'd be back to his old self. So he lifted up his trousers and left, leaving the pretty girl wondering. Back home, Tony went to his mother's bedside and asked her what she wanted to do. When the old mother said she wanted to have dinner with her father, Tony remembered his long-lost father and decided to do something about it. So he refurbished his father's shoes. He became like his father, and his mother came dressed for the occasion. That night, she smiled like she hadn't smiled in a long time. But the next morning, she died. A heartbroken Tony shut down his business for a week. But on the first day of business, an angry man came to the door.